Smash the like button if you agree that Wardlow will never be a star in All Elite Wrestling ever again.
Now, let's talk about sexy ass Kamille and Wardlow. Where is Kamille and where is Wardlow? Well, I've heard that Con Man doesn't believe that they're good enough to be on TV. That's what I heard. He thinks that Wardlow is not that good. And when it comes to sexy ass Kamille, there's nothing for Kamille in All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling. That's how Con Man views her. But let's talk about Wardlow, because I believe that story about Wardlow and Con Man. I believe that Con Man doesn't think that Wardlow is good enough. You see, this is the main issue with All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling. Beggars can't be choosers, right? This company is not that good to bench people. Now, the World Wrestling Federation, that company is good enough to bench people, but not All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling. Just imagine a fugly, ugly-ass female says no to you. And it's like, hold on, woman. You don't have a lot of options, female. You a beggar, not a chooser, right? That's All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling. It's like, bro, look in the mirror. You need all the help you can get. You should not be benching people who you need on your TV show. That's the problem. I think that's the main reason why people talk shit about All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling. They bench people knowing that you need all the help you can get on your show to make it relevant. You need Wardlow. You need other big men on your show. Your show is built around small men, flippy, dippy guys from New Japan Pro Fed Wrestling. You need more big men, not just Bobby Lashley, not just, who else? Benjamin Shelton. Who else? Josh Alexander. Now, let's talk about Josh Alexander. Holy shit. Nobody is talking about this. Josh is a jobber. Holy crap. I'm the only guy bringing this up. This man has been a flop since signing in All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling. He loses matches a lot to big men. That's the problem. He loses matches to big men who have no upside. Listen, I don't care what anybody else says. Brody King has no upside in this business. He doesn't have a good look. Brody King is a pale white guy with tattoos, and he doesn't have a good shape. Why is he beating Josh Alexander, your prize free agent? I don't get it. So you can make the argument that Josh Alexander is the new Wardlow. Tony Khan is booking Josh Alexander like a jobber to the stars. Here's why. He came from TNA. If Con Man jobbed out Big Bill, Big Cass, if he jobs out Diana Purrazzo, what makes you think he wouldn't job out Josh Alexander? Where's John Morrison? He jobs out all the TNA X superstars. That's a huge red flag. Where's Josh Alexander, and why is he a jobber in the Don Callis family? It was a huge mistake that he went to All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling, because Con Man will make sure Josh Alexander becomes a jobber. All ex-TNA Fed Pro wrestlers who sign with this company, they become jobbers. And the fact that TNA is now partners with the World Wrestling Federation, Con Man will make sure that their ex-top guy, Josh Alexander, will be a job guy just to prove a point. What about John Morrison's wife? She's also a jobber female on this roster. This is how you know that Con Man is done with Wardlow. He repackaged Roddy Strong. He repackaged Kyle O'Reilly. He repackaged that whole entire faction. I'm talking about the United Kingdom. The last time we seen Wardlow, he was with the United Kingdom. He was the bodyguard for Adam Coleslaw, an injured Adam Coleslaw. Well, right now, that faction is no more. There's no more Matt Taven. There's no more Mike Bennett. So that storyline is now squashed. That's now a dead angle. No more possible heel turn or face turn on Adam Coleslaw with Wardlow. Wardlow, he's done with Adam Coleslaw. So I do believe those rumors that Tony Khan doesn't think Wardlow is that good. I do believe those rumors. This is why I'm very hard on All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. You don't get tons of viewers to watch your shows, so you have no leverage on benching talent. Where's Jack Perry? Where's Wardlow? Your show is not that good to be benching your day ones like Jack Perry, like Wardlow. I can't believe that I'm just now saying this about Josh Alexander. He's going to become a jobber in this company based on his old company. Tony Khan hates TNA. So that's why Josh Alexander made a huge mistake coming here. Tony Khan, he treats TNA exactly how Vince McMahon treated ECW. That's how Tony Khan views TNA. He doesn't take TNA seriously, just like how Vince McMahon did not take ECW seriously. I don't get it. There's not a lot of stars on this show for you to keep Wardlow at home. Now, I heard that Wardlow got injured, but this man has been healthy for half a year now. He's been gone for half a year. This man has been healthy for half a year. He can come back if he wants to, but Con Man doesn't like Wardlow. So, why did sexy ass Kamille get benched by Tony Khan Man? She got benched because she did an interview with Jim Cornette last year. That's why that female got benched. I must say, that takes a lot of balls to do a podcast interview with Jim Cornette. Him? You did a podcast interview with Jim Cornette. People hardly ever do interviews with Jim Cornette for logical reasons, right? So you clearly know that Jim Cornette hates All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. That company makes him tons of money. So why would you do a podcast interview with the biggest enemy of All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling, and that is Jim Cornette? That was crazy. That takes a lot of balls. But you don't cross Con Man. Why would you do that interview? Okay, how about this logic? Why would I do a podcast interview with a guy who shits on my boss every week? Of course, sexy ass Kamille, she has mega heat backstage for that podcast interview. Half that roster, hell, most of that roster don't like Jim Cornette. And you had some nerve doing a podcast interview with him? Jim Cornette shits on All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling 7 days a week. And a roster member did an interview with him? Yes, that's stupid. That's dumb. So there might be a huge possibility that we might never see sexy ass Kamille back in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling thanks to that interview. What's next for Wardlow and Kamille? Well, I heard they will be on the reboot American Gladiators show with The Miz. I think that's a great thing because The Miz, you never know. He might put in the good word for Wardlow. He might put in the good word for sexy ass Kamille to Nick Khan, to Paul Levesque, to Shawn Michaels. This show might be a tryout similar to Lex Luger in that bodybuilding show. Remember, Vince McMahon used to have his own bodybuilder league, and that's how he signed Lex Luger. Back then, Lex Luger was signed with WCW, but his contract was about to run out. So Vince McMahon somewhat stole Lex Luger away from WCW. But that show was more so a tryout, a scouting show for Vince McMahon with Lex Luger. So this show, it might be a tryout for sexy ass Kamille and Wardlow to impress Nick Khan, Paul Levesque, Shawn Michaels. So this will be a good thing because if Wardlow looks like a beast on this show, I guarantee it, Shawn Michaels, Nick Khan, and Paul Levesque, they will be highly interested in Wardlow. Because keep this in mind, Wardlow, he is still under contract with All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Same with Kamille. And they will be on the same show with The Miz, a World Wrestling Federation superstar. So I believe The Miz will put in the good word for Kamille and Wardlow to move on to the World Wrestling Federation, where they belong. Now, do I believe that sexy-ass Kamille is done in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling? Hell yes, thanks to Jim Cornette in that interview. Do I believe that Wardlow is also done in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling? I'ma say yes, I do believe he's done in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. This new show, this will be a tryout for Wardlow to come over to the World Wrestling Federation.